Hi, I will be discussing the Mediterranean diet, the DASH diet, and the Omni diet. What is the Mediterranean diet? The Mediterranean diet is a diet consisting of mostly fruits and vegetables, lots of whole grains, lots of nuts, as well as olive oil, which constitutes most of their fat intake. The Mediterranean diet is a diet that has very low red meat content and very low dairy fats. Now, do we know if the Mediterranean diet produced longevity amongst the Cretans? I would say it is a contributing factor. I have had the privilege to visit Crete in Greece, and I realized that many of them engaged in outdoor activities. And I noticed also that their restaurants always had an outdoor, sitting area where there was a lot of singing and dancing. Generally, the Greek people are very fun people. They love to dance and sing, and also they drink a lot of wine. And I would also like to add that I barely saw people who were obese, on the streets or on the bus. So I think they have a generally healthy lifestyle. Now, do we know if the Mediterranean diet reduces the risk of cardiovascular diseases? I would say yes, because the Mediterranean diet is one of the diets close to the recommended diet for preventing cardiovascular diseases. Now, if I was to describe a Mediterranean meal, I would choose the lunch. And I noticed that the lunch is the biggest meal of the day amongst the Mediterranean people. And so I would, describe a meal as a salad, which will consist of cucumbers, tomatoes, lettuce, with a dressing of olive oil, as well as a whole grain bread with pasta or rice as a side, and a red wine. Now, if I was to differentiate between the Mediterranean diet and the DASH diet, I would say that the DASH diet has more fruits and vegetables and less fat compared to the Mediterranean diet. Now, to compare the DASH diet and the Omni diet, I would say the Omni diet is a modification of the DASH diet, that is, removing 10% of the carbohydrate content in the DASH diet will give you an Omni diet. However, the 10% carbohydrates has been substituted with protein or monounsaturated fat. And the Omni diet has been proven to be more healthy than the DASH diet just because, it has more protein and monounsaturated fat to help reduce the lipids, the unhealthy lipids in the bloodstream. And so, to discuss what's new, something new, I read an article that was released about 2 days ago about a study that was done in Europe. It was done amongst 9 European countries, and the study was done with children, about 16,000 children between the ages of 2 and 9. And these children, their height, weight, and abdominal circumference were measured at baseline, and they were followed up 2 years after with questionnaires filled out by their parents describing how much of 43 food items that were taken by these children. And these food items were items that were part of the Mediterranean diet. And it was discovered that most of the children who had Mediterranean food items in their meals for the past 2 years, before the follow-up, they realized many of those children hardly had obesity. And children who had less Mediterranean foods were more prone to obesity. And so the study led to a recommendation that children who had a tendency to have obesity, or just children generally for healthy living, should be fed with Mediterranean food items just to help them, just to prevent childhood obesity. So that's it for me right now. Thank you for listening.